for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio. Sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Elvivo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. I am Allison Kinney. Good afternoon. Let's take a look at the headlines. It's well known among the public that the FBI investigates crimes of all types and sizes. What may not be as well known is that the FBI plays a role in securing U.S. agriculture. Scott Manlock, Weapons of Mass Destruction Coordinator with the FBI's Milwaukee office, talks about the threats to American agriculture.
So within the modalities of WMD, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, explosive hazards, I would say biological threats probably has the most going on, whether it's emerging technologies, agriculture, food, defense. There's a lot going on when it comes to biological threats. You got to keep in mind the FBI is not a regulator, but it's important that I align myself with local, state, and federal regulatory agencies to understand what the vulnerabilities are when it comes to agriculture and food defense. We consider food and agriculture part of national security. If that's disrupted, we're going to have some big issues.
Manlock said the FBI takes part in many agricultural-related public events.
Yeah, this is going to be our fourth or fifth year at World Dairy Expo, and then this is my first year at Wisconsin Farm Technology Expo. For me, it's important to get in front of those stakeholders. When we work the World Dairy Expo, we have a lot of international visitors. We have a larger corporations that attend an event like this. With the Wisconsin Farm Technology Expo, I think that's really where our message comes across, is the protection of their property and their methods and their processes.
It's important to include farms of all sizes when it comes to maintaining agricultural security for the nation. He said there are vulnerabilities up and down the agricultural supply chain.
You think about the farm to fork continuum and all the processes within that continuum. So you have the cow grazing in the field to that showing up on your dinner plate. So you think about the farm, you think about logistics, you think about the auction house, you think about the slaughter facility, you think about all the steps in that process. Every step has a vulnerability that's attached to it. I've been very fortunate that we have a great relationship with USDA, and USDA has opened a lot of doors for me to further understand the farm to fork continuum and understand what those vulnerabilities look like. Again, keep in mind the FBI is not a regulator, but it's important that I align myself with partners like USDA to understand what those vulnerabilities are, because if a situation comes up where there is an incident, I want to go into that incident with at least a baseline knowledge of what those vulnerabilities look like.
Again, that's Special Agent Scott Matlock of the FBI in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Stop on by our Red Barn during the Farm Science Review, September 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Come say hello to the Ohio AgNet and the Ohio Country Journal team.
Subscribe to Ohio's Country Journal for a chance to win one of 4 $250 gift cards.
And don't miss your chance to say hi to Dale Minyo. After more than 30 years on the air, he's retiring. Sign his guest book, play games, and enjoy fun giveaways.
Plus, free popcorn every day until 1 o'clock.
We'll see you at the corner of Corn and Market at the Red Barn at Farm Science Review.
Now let's check in with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your checkoff dollars at work.
I'm joined today by Dr. Laura Lindsay. Laura's the OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist. Laura, as we are moving through August right now, sort of that late season time for soybeans to think about different management decisions, I guess as growers go out and hopefully are walking their fields a little bit, what are some things they should be looking for?
Sure, this is a great time to walk your fields, not in terms of the weather. It's kind of hot and humid, but it's a great time to look at your soybean plant. There may be diseases showing up. There may not be a lot you can do right now in terms of spraying fungicide because it's getting late, but it's good to see what is there so you can make plans perhaps for next year. Another thing to look for are late season insects. So the two that I think about this time of the year are stink bugs and bean leaf beetle. And it's good to pay attention to those fields that were planted later. They'll stay green later this fall while everything else is dying, and you may see more insects attracted to those green fields.
Great information. Again, our guest today, Dr. Laura Lindsay, OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist. Laura, thanks so much for your time and the update today.
Yep, thank you.
And today's update brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff.
Something to note from the headlines, China doesn't seem to have bought a single American cargo ship's worth of soybeans for the coming year. Bloomberg said that despite the typical U.S. soybean export season beginning in days, U.S. government data shows Chinese buyers are standing pat on U.S. soybeans, while the two countries continue to negotiate an end to trade hostilities that have been upended commodity markets. China imposed retaliatory tariffs on American soybean imports in March, making the cargoes less competitive in the Chinese markets. Now let's take a look at the markets. This market report is brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Learn more online at seedconsultants.com. September corn closed in today up 3 even at 385.5. December corn up 4 even at 410. March corn up 4 1/4 at 427.5. September soybeans up 1 even at 1028.25. November soybeans up 1/2 at 1048. September wheat up 8 even at 510.25. And December wheat up 4 3/4 at 529. This is the Ohio AgNet.